Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be doing the next installment of my planner journal scavenger hunt 2021. And if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, so I wanted to thank you guys for your patience. This is, or has been, the topic of my Saturday video, but I could not get it up for Saturday, and so I just put something else I had already filmed. So what I'm going to do is just a quick flip through just to bring everyone up to speed. If you are new here, we'll do list number 8, and then at the end of the video, I'll show you number 9 that we'll be doing for this Saturday. So this is a challenge that I created for myself to see if I could use a variety of my different products in a variety of different mediums. So this was my tester page. This was actually the very first list. The list is available on my blog. I just edit it every week to include the next list. So by the time you see this, it will have this listing on there. This was list number 2. I am specific in that I'm calling them lists number whatever versus week, so that if you want to start on a particular list, you could. If you want to just do one list, you could. You can go in order, you can go backwards, you can just do whatever it is that you want. But really, it's for me, as you can see by the variety of different things I've put together, is I'm just using my junk journal stuff, my coloring book stuff, my art supply stuff, my bullet journal stuff, my planner stuff, just all of my stuff I'm using in the various spreads that I'm doing. So that's list number 4. List number 5. I'm not sure why these pages are so hard. List number 6. That one was really cute. List number 7 has 2 because this one didn't film, but I do have to say, and I think most of you agreed, this one definitely is the favorite of the 2. And I think it's just because it's more airy and you definitely get more of that doily effect right there. So what we're going to be doing is list number 8 right here. I will be putting this right above me, and I thought I would be using this, but maybe we'll just defer that to another time. And so instead we'll use, yeah, this one is as good as any, so we'll use this page right here. So I didn't actually go over what the prompts were for this week. It's yarn, metal, light, ink, and flower, and I do have an idea of what I want to do with that. So I do have this. It is blank on both sides. This is just a piece of watercolor paper that I had cut down from a watercolor page I had gotten, or a watercolor paper book I had gotten from Target, and I already had that cut down from another project. This is a stamp that I had bought from work. They were doing a bake sale, and I thought I was clever, and I didn't buy any baked goods, but then they had craft supplies, and so they totally got me, but for $3, I'm glad they did. And this is probably the favorite stamp that I own in my arsenal, so we will be using that. We'll use my Stays On ink. I don't necessarily need to use this, but this is waterproof, so if I did want to use some water mediums, I could totally let this dry and then there would not be any kind of smudging or blurring. And then I'm going to use some metallic jelly roll pens, and hopefully the picture that I have in my mind actually comes out. So I'm going to try not to get messy. Already got ink on my hands, and just ink the stamp. Now, I am not the greatest, well, clearly on putting ink on things as well as stamping. This does smell like a Chinese almond cookie to me, and I want a Chinese almond cookie now. I don't know how to make that happen. And I say Chinese almond cookies because, do they have almond cookies in the mainland? I think they do, because I've bought almondettes at like Price Busters, But yeah, there's a specific almond cookie. It's like a shortbread type of cookie, but heavily almond flavor. There's no actual almonds in it other than the flavoring. But yeah, that's what this smells like. I hate when I get dirty. I'm sorry. Just that bothers me. All right, so because it's a woodblock stamp, and I suppose I could cut this off. We're just gonna leave it. Oh, ink everywhere. I can't see where this is going. I'm hoping it's wide enough to hold the stamp, but I'm just going to plop and then press. And hopefully I got enough saturation on the stamp that it gives me a complete image. Not really. But you know what? We're gonna deal. That's what we do around here. We deal. Going to put this like this so I can see the image. And we're gonna do some repairing. Now, if your stamping skills are better than mine, then this is probably something you won't have to do. But if they are on par to mine, then yeah, you make a mistake, this is how you fix it. Now I am using this Pigma Micron pen instead of this one here. Again, I don't know that I'm going to be using any water mediums, but I'm not 100% sure. So this way, if I do, I don't have to worry that I'm going to smudge the ink. Because as much as I hate having smudged ink on my fingers, I hate it even more on that, or on the projects I'm working on. So there's a flower out here. And I can be a little messy because the flowers are not super defined. And I think this problem is actually because I didn't have a lot of pressure in the middle. I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, I'm not very good at stamping. I'm pretty sure Poet Spice is watching and she's just shaking her head. Because I'm a crafter, but not really. I like paper crafts and I like cutting things and I like laminating things. But this kind of stuff, my sister totally rocked at. Me, not so much. Okay, well that's actually good. And we do need to fulfill some prompts that aren't in here, but I don't want to add anything but pen to this. So we're going to try to be clever. Clearly, we've kind of already failed at that, but we're going to channel our inner mythographic. Because I need something that represents light. And so we're going to do a light bulb there. And then we need something by way of yarn. And so we can do a yarn ball. Let's just do it over here. And then we'd make some lines going this way. It actually looks more like a Pokemon ball. And then some that way. And then a little string like that. That looks like BB-8. We're gonna leave it. It's probably not my finest endeavor, but that's okay. All right, so we've got light, we've got yarn, we've got flour, we've got ink. So all we need is metal. So that's why I wanted to use these here. I will link these down below. I just got these from Amazon. These are actually hard to find locally. Now I know that on Amazon you can find gel pens for a lot less than I bought these for, but I know it's a good brand and I actually don't use them a lot. I only use them for accents in my coloring, so I didn't feel that I needed to have a lot of markers or a lot of these jelly roll pens in a variety of different colors, and I didn't need them to last very long. No, that's not what I'm trying to convey. If you're watching people on ColorTube, they actually color entire pictures with gel pens, whether it's metallic, whether it's glaze, whatever. They're coloring with gel pens. And so you're going to eat up a lot of ink, but because they're so cheap, you can buy refills or you can buy just new sets very easily. These are more expensive. I'm only using them as accents, but I think for the price, based on how long I'm anticipating they're going to last, I feel it's worthwhile. I don't need like 50 different gel pens for coloring because that's not the kind of coloring that I do. The people that I see use gel pens generally are using them for like color by numbers and things because it does provide a really nice coverage and it does flow really nicely. Okay, well that's adding some nice color. There's no colors on here. I think there's numbers, so that's not going to be very helpful. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to do a little bit of layering with just some different colors. Not even so much to shade, it's just to give it some interest. Not going to be too precious about making the coverage perfect. I just like to give it a little bit of color. It's actually looking nice. And I thought I would use the metallic green, but I think I'm going to try to make it a little flat by using my Tombos. There's some things out here. I think that's most of the flowers. So we've got that. And then let me get these two. That should be an interesting contrast. Oh yeah, that actually pops really nicely. And again, I'm not going for a very, how do I say, a full lay down of color. I just want there to be color. Oh, that's pretty. That is really pretty. Okay, and then we'll see about putting this. Oh, that's good as a shade, just to add some depth, not being precise, just adding some color. Oh, that's pretty. That looks horrible. Horrible. I know I have a yarn sticker. That one kind of recedes. I'm cool with that one. In fact, we could add a little bit of yellow. Right, that's fine, but that's gross. Are we gonna stay with gross? Maybe we should stay with gross. We just do things, we don't plan things, so we should just take the whatever it is that we get, right? I think so, you're right. There are no mistakes, there's just that. Okay, well, We can highlight it, but we could make it. Okay, okay. Let's kind of do that. That barely had any color. So let's kind of do that. There's a crown there and a fleur-de-lis, I think, right there. Okay, okay. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. We're trying new things. We're dealing with not perfection. And that's kind of my jam, the not perfection part. And actually, I think that's it. Yarn, metal, light, ink, flower. Guys, look at us. We're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of journaling on here, and then I'll bring you back when this is back on the discs. Okay, guys, so this is it back on the discs, and I have to say that yarn ball still bugs me. But I think it would have bugged me more if I had tried to cover up the fact that it ever happened. I don't go in with a plan. I just had an idea. I didn't execute it as well as I'd like. I think it might have been better had I tried to hide it back here in the flowers. Even this one, I could have hid a little better. It's like those obnoxious hidden objects in the mythographic books. That's basically what inspired me for this. And that's just as obnoxious as those. But I don't like pretending like things never happened to make this seem like it has to be perfect. I fulfilled my prompt. I think this actually looks really interesting, even with this weird BB-8 thing going on, and that is a character from Star Wars, if you're unfamiliar. And so I'm going to consider it a win. It actually, and it was deliberate by way of the greens. Well, I'm glad I used the greens in here because it plays off this page really well. That all of my greens kind of lean towards that. That's just the packs that I bought. But I did mention that I did play a little bit of catch up because I could not get this on the Saturday the 10th that I wanted this to. And I do make reference that yarn ball just looks janky. But not gonna lie, it's different from anything we've done so far. I think we saved the stamp by way of the flowers. Looks really sketchy. So I really like how this looks, even with some of the weird janky elements. Even with those, I think this looks cute. All right, so the list for number 9, or the ninth list, is this right here. So water, purple, container, school, and sweet. And so that's list number 9. I will be posting this video on July 13th. This is going to be the subject matter of the Saturday video, Saturday, July 17th. So not a lot of time between, but again, there's no deadline. You do these as you can. And thank you so much for tagging me on Instagram if you have been. I really love seeing them because it's like, oh, that's so pretty, or oh, that's a great way to use that. Now this one might be the one that throws you for a loop. This is anything that contains anything else. So if you have a stamp, a sticker, washi tape of a bookshelf or a book contains words and thoughts, a flower pot, a container that holds food, just anything that contains something else. Again, there is no scavenger hunt, police, whatever you think fulfills that, by all means use it. And then sweet could be an image that you think is sweet. Sweet could be a confection, a candy, whatever your reference or whatever your interpretation of that is. I would be really interested. I actually have no idea how I'm going to do this for Saturday. I have none. I actually have lists all the way through number 16 written down somewhere, and they're just random things. I took Poet Spice's advice, and I'm like, okay, just look around, pick random words, write them down. And so yeah, that's why we have that. It'll be interesting, guys, not gonna lie. It'll be interesting, but it also makes us look at our stuff more. So I'd love to know what you guys think. I am thinking that as time goes by, I'm gonna love this more and more. As always, guys, thank you so much for following me on this journey, and aloha.